All right, Claire, thank you so much for putting yourself out there for our veteran job seekers. Like we said at Veteran Hiring Solutions, people don't follow companies, they follow leaders. So, as the COO for Wild West Systems, could you introduce yourself to the audience? Tell us a little bit about your background and why you're at Wild West.
Yeah, so like you said, my name is Claire Hawkins, COO of Wild West Systems. I've been with the company since June of 2025, which was shortly after the company started. My background has been primarily in aerospace and defense. I started my career, so I have a engineering background, mechanical and aerospace engineering background. Went to Northrop Grumman
Mm.
for about a year, and then went to Raytheon Missile Systems in Tucson, where I got to work on a lot of fun missiles there, and did a short stint at a startup. That's how I got my first experience at a startup until they were bought out, and then I went to Firefly Aerospace as an even earlier startup, and that's where I actually really learned my love and passion for the startup culture.
Mhm.
Um, and now I'm here at Wild West Systems.
Yeah, going from the big machine of Northrop Grumman and Raytheon to, a year old, less than 2 year old company that's scrappy, pivoting and moving, and just the energy of a young company must be fun.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll be honest, when I was at Northrop Grumman, I was extremely bored, um, and I remember telling my boss that when I was leaving because he was trying to keep me there. And I said, I'll be honest, I'm pretty bored and I want something that challenges me more. And so I went to Raytheon, and I would say it was slightly better, but still the same, where
Big
I had
machine.
to just, yeah, it was the big machine, something that I wanted to solve that was so simple and I could do overnight if I wanted to. Still took 6 months to go through all the bureaucracy and, approvals and everything like that. And it wasn't really until I got to Firefly that I said, okay, this is what I've been looking for.
Hmm.
The dream I always had as a young engineer was that I wanted to kind of own everything. So I wanted to be able to come up with the idea. I wanted to be able to create it in the system or, in CAD. And then I wanted to be able to build it and test it and then iterate and learn from what I did and just
Hmm.
make something that way. And that's what you get when you come to Wild West Systems. When you come to a startup like us, you really get to own the whole thing, which is, I think, what every engineer really wants. And
Hmm.
so we have right behind me is where we do our first production line, and then over here on the other side of me we have our machines that are our CNC machines and 3D printers and everything, and then on
Hmm.
the other side of that wall is our office. So everybody's very close. Literally, you can walk around the corner and be in the shop and make stuff happen and test things. And just earlier today, there was a bunch of static fire of the rocket motors here in the
Oh,
shop.
cool.
So it's a lot of
Yeah, I
fun.
mean,
Like,
for
you get
somebody
to
that
see
wants to
everything.
move quickly, somebody
Yeah,
that has that ownership like you, hey, I want to own the whole thing. This
yeah,
is a
and you
great company
really
to join.
everybody has that passion that you need. You want somebody that's just really cares about what they're doing and is just going to make it happen.
Mhm.
And they just have that thing where they have that itch where they can't stop until they figure it out, and that's really what you need here at Wild West Systems.
Hey, as an entrepreneur myself, I know exactly what you're talking about. The that
Yeah,
it's in the back of your head all the time, and it's just a passion it's not work, right? It's a passion, and you're just enjoying the creation of the and creating those new opportunities, systems, whatever it might be. Well, thank you so much for the introduction about yourself and why you're at Wild West. Now let's talk about the Propulsion Aerodynamics Engineer. I think that's a fascinating role for Wild West Systems, what you're doing, and at the moment you're in right now. So, could you explain that role and its piece in the puzzle of the company?
yeah. So this role is obviously super exciting because you get to actually work on the rocket motor itself.
Hmm.
And then obviously the aerodynamic side of it, designing nozzles, designing that shell of the projectile, things like that. You get to go and do static testing right here in the shop. Get to make a lot of noise, right?
Hmm.
Um, it makes the some of the folks in the other side jump every time they do it, but it's also one of those like super satisfying things that this role gets to actually be in charge of doing that. Now,
Yeah.
this person in this role will probably focus more on our next generation, which will be a bigger one. So it'll be even a bigger a lot more thrust than the one that we currently have, which will be a lot of fun. But this person will also really need to have a good solid knowledge of aerodynamics, CFD. They're going to be doing a lot of CFD modeling and then going out and testing and verifying that it actually exists, or that going out and verifying that it actually works.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we have one propulsion engineer.
Okay.
And we're trying to branch out to different programs, build different projectiles, and so we need somebody to focus. So currently, our engineers get to focus heavily on owning a certain product, and this one will be no different. You'll get to actually own how this rocket actually works, be able
Wow.
to design the nozzle, be able to work with guidance, navigation, control, um, figuring out what the geometry of the inside needs to look like, even playing with different mixtures of propellant. So currently
Mm.
we do a basic APCP propellant. We're open to different formulations and different things that gives us different performance. And so this person will really get to calculate and figure out what they want to do, come up with a test plan, and come up with a bunch of different recipes, try all those out. It's actually a really fun job.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds
Yeah,
like a great job.
yeah. It's
Well,
like
if you're that engineer and that creative person, that doesn't always line up because engineers have to stay inside the box a lot. But
yeah,
you have that creative background and it's a passion of yours. You get to build it
yeah.
yourself here.
We love when people try something new, even if it fails. Just going
Mm.
out there and trying and seeing if your crazy idea works. Trust me, I've recommended several things that have worked really well, but I'd say there's several things that I thought were a great idea and didn't pan out very well. But the thing that's really cool about here is everybody works together. And
Mhm.
so even me as a former individual contributor engineer to now kind of being slightly disconnected. We're so small that I think I'm not completely disconnected, but
Yeah.
uh, but even me or anybody else in the office can say, well, what if we did this? And people always take it into consideration, and oftentimes it gets implemented.
Well, and that's what's so great about small dynamic teams. Hey, if you're over at those Raytheons, those Northrop Grummons, the L3s, all those, and you have this experience, but you're kind of tired of the grind and how slow the machine turns,
Yeah,
this is a place to come in and really make an impact quick.
yeah, for sure. Definitely need people that can be fast. So
Mhm.
this isn't like your typical large aerospace company. This is a let's hustle, let's get it done as fast as possible. So it's the whole fail fast mentality of try whatever your idea is, learn from it, and move on from there. And I think that's what makes it so fun.
Yeah, I mean, for the right person, this is going to be amazing. Engineer to engineer, right? I'm not an engineer. Anything that you want to get across to them so they understand, hey, I am the capable, I am the person you're looking for.
I would say this is a dream job. This is really an engineer's dream job. You're able to really control the whole process. You're able to be creative without getting in trouble or anything like that. You're able to do what you've always wanted to do with really very few boundaries or rules. Now, obviously, everybody needs to be safe. We don't want anybody getting hurt, right? So those are rules, but for the most part, it's not like you have to wait for approval from this person or that person. Bring it up. Let's chat about it. Make it happen. Really, it's we're looking for that person that just dreams about this stuff in their sleep. They love it. They want to do it. They want to be creative and try different things. That's what we're looking for.
Right. They want to, instead of being a cog in that wheel, they want to own
Yeah.
it. Hey, own that whole
Definitely
thing.
don't want a cog in the wheel. We want somebody that will take ownership and make it happen.
That's great. No, I think I have everything I need for the propulsion aerodynamics engineer role because, like, they're going to know pretty quickly whether it's right for them or not. And then again, the ability to meet you as the COO is just great. So I will get this out to the community as soon as we find that right human. We'll deliver them to you.
Sounds good. Thank you.